Now, disadvantages. We are having an issue with visas because we don't have enough people here committing to stay. If you commit to stay, the opportunities will come to you. I believe it's probably the same in all Asian countries. Once you tell them that you're planning to be here longer than 5-10 years, then they'll start introducing you to their secrets. I've spoken to Chinese people and tell them I'll be here the next 10 years. They're starting to introduce me to their long-term relationships because they don't want, like most people don't want, one-night stands. You're just here to take who wants to invest in a relationship on a one-night stand. So it's important for us to figure out how to create businesses that will give us our own work visas so we can then stay here legally and be able to respond to whatever the local government is doing. So we have that challenge simply because we don't have enough businesses and it's not enough money circulating in our community. It's happening, but it's taking too long. Not everyone speaks Chinese. So if you speak Chinese, it's, you have access to 1 billion people. That's, fair game. But some people have other challenges, like I need to work 70 hours a week because my job requires me. I don't have time to go ahead and learn Chinese. So if we have at least new monies or new markets or new ideas, it will give people maybe an hour or two or start to collaborate as part of a team. I think we can overcome that and create our own market so those who don't want to learn Chinese or who are not prepared to learn Chinese still can make money until they have the time to make Chinese. But the end game is we still need to do what everyone else is doing around and trying to make the Chinese buy from us. We don't have enough media amongst ourselves, so we need to have more us creating our own narrative. If, for example, everyone talks about Trump, so I can do two things. I can respond to say, we as black people in China feel this way about Trump. Or I can go, that's nice. Jason over here, Monique, did I say your name right? Okay, Lance, Sean, we're doing this. And based on that, you are first saying you're going to do it, and then you do it. Then we can say, oh, she didn't do it right, or she did it right, or he didn't do it right. I would have done it this way. Everything revolves around what's already has happened. And then when the narrative and everybody else starts to pay attention to buy into it, and then we can basically get other businesses to give us money for something we created. So we don't have enough media in China. I've been pioneering it, but then the next step is connecting our media on an international market. So if you do travel, especially become tourism, we go right to the next black person's business in their next country. And I think that's the challenge in Black America is like we haven't had a community where if I go back home, my money go right back to the Black American person. It'll go to a Jewish, Mexican, Irish, somebody else. But we can create that outside and make sure that our travel blogs or our products that are made or any of the tour we need to set up goes right to us so we can give you the secrets. And you take that, which don't have to be on the actual outside, it's just basically community secrets, which we basically need to have in terms of intellectual property. Our intellectual property is being taken, especially in the entertainment industry. The Chinese are very good at that. Chinese are very good at that. So we need to do a couple of things once we have our media is tell people that we need to stop giving away our intellectual property and then teach people how to conserve our intellectual property or buy into a place where we know it's kept. And then teach our children, which is basically the education industry. We don't have enough education around entrepreneurship based on the new country we moved to. So I have my meetings called Black X meetings. It might be catered to different industries. It's just basically teaching people how to survive and how to market. Because some of us have the tenacity, the desire, the passion, but lack the marketing skill or lack the expertise in the product or don't even have enough time to have this great idea or even the money to go ahead and say, give me a shot. They're thinking that going to a European market where most people are dominated by European Americans will actually lead them to financial success, where in the Chinese eyes, no one wants to buy a product that isn't popular. So we have to make our own product popular and for them to buy into it. And I believe all the other Asians operate the same way. So if you say it's hot, you say it's hot, you say it's hot, 5 people say it's hot, and one Chinese person is going to go, yeah, that's hot. And that's something that we need to kind of teach on not just on media, but we need to come on out. So I only focus on person-to-person relationship. I might tell the story in media, but the end goal is get off of social media that isn't ours, like Facebook, Twitter, WeChat, WhatsApp, that isn't ours. And little do we know, not all the information that we really send gets to us at the time that we need to receive it. We have two platforms, YouTube and Youku. I understand YouTube better once I understood Youku. I was putting out so much videos, and I had a lot of hits. One day you'll have 3,000 views. Next day will be 200. I'm going like, I know I saw a bigger number. And then I realized that people pay for higher views, and then, depending on how they feel about me, it'd be higher. So I go like, YouTube is probably the same way. So we won't get the message across only on YouTube. We have to get out and travel. So that's why I'm here in Korea. We have to get out and come out outside our houses, kind of like campaigning for Obama, that sort of thing. We kind of got to do that grassroots fundraising, grassroots support, just to let you know that if we do disagree, we don't have to disagree on fundamental things. We just disagree on the topics. That I still like you, you still look like me, that we still need to figure a way to come together. Because it's just that our strong opinions about how we think life should be keeps us from talking and really having a continued dialogue to make it work, where we are our only hope. And I think that's something that we lack around with the conversation we all have on media. Kind of went into it our own platform. So I'm in the process of creating a Black Alibaba. You heard of Alibaba, right? So Alibaba has been taken over. They have access to products. They also have access to a better payment system, and because of that, they have favoritism over shipping products. And I think that once we start to come together as a community and under one voice, we could then start negotiating with UPS, Federal Express, United States Postal Services, or these other delivery packages, so we can compete on a world market. So if somebody wants the product like tomorrow, we don't have to pay an arm and a leg more than the actual product itself just to get it. And I think that's what keeps us from really competing on an international scale when it comes to products. So we need to eventually say, like Ethiopian Airlines, they are the airline for Africa. Something partner up with those countries and say, can you supply or help us on our end or for our little community? And ultimately, we want to have at least hundreds of communities to represent corporation. My goal in China is to have, how you have the Fortune 500? I want to have the Fortune 50, but there's black companies in China. Because there's enough people and there's enough money, we just need to basically build the infrastructure. Real estate is too expensive. So I want to say Shanghai is like Singapore. Have you been to Singapore? If you don't know Singapore, just say New York times 2 in terms of real estate. It's really expensive because there's so many people, and it's the window to the world. So we have to partner at this point with Chinese in the beginning to buy out stuff. But people that are buying real estate are buying in groups, like the Blackstone group or whatever group. It's not an individual anymore. Even like P. Diddy was trying to buy the Panthers out, it has to be a group. So in order for us to really have stability, we need to control our real estate. So therefore, we can basically have a presence that people will take us serious, not just online presence, but also a physical location. Because in China, physical location means you are in business. If you don't have a physical location, it means you're not in business. And so having access to board meetings and a shop, even if you not really say I need a store to put my products, but it's just a place where from 9 to 5, I can have my secrets protected and not in somebody else's space. So real estate is essential, and that's one of our weaknesses. We don't have a real estate in Shanghai. Second tier cities, third tier cities, sure, but no one pays attention. They're paying attention to Beijing and Shanghai and Shenzhen. Those are the 3 most prominent places when tourism come in or manufacturing. They come to those cities, so we have a disadvantage.